Welcome to the 8th grade Math Homework Helper Series. Tonight's homework is PR6, Comparing Proportions. Start by taking a look at question number 2. Alice has a job offer from 3 different companies. Company A offers a salary represented by the equation y equals 1200x, where y is the total salary and x is the number of weeks of employment. Company B offers a salary represented by the graph. And then we have Company C offers $3,675 every 3 weeks. Which company offers the greatest weekly salary? Well, we come back up and take a look at Company A. You are told that Company A offers $1,200 times X, where X is the number of weeks. So essentially, Company A is offering $1,200 a week, because if X were 1, then it would be 1,200. So we've already established kind of a unit rate for Company A, because we can say that Company A offers $1,200 for 1 week. And to be able to compare these, we now need to be able to figure out what Company B offers a week, and then Company C. For Company B, if we take a look at the graph, they don't give you what it would be for 1 week, but they do for 5. And so if you were to take and make a line to connect where 5 intersects with this diagonal line, and then follow it to the left, you should see that it connects with about $6,250. So over 5 weeks, Company B pays you $6,250, but that's not a unit rate because we don't know what it is over 1. But if we put that as a ratio or a proportion, and then we divide it out, it works out to be, for 1 week, Company B pays $1,250, which so far puts Company B in the lead. Now let's come down to Company C. Company C is presented similar to the way Company A was, except again, you're not told what you make in 1 week. You're told what you make in 3 weeks. So if you can make $3,675 in 3 weeks, you can set that up as a proportion, divide 3,675 by 3, and you're going to determine that you would get $1,225 a week. So better than Company A, but still not as high as Company B. And a comparison of these 3 companies reveals that Company B, in fact, pays the most. Company B offers the greatest weekly salary at $1,250 per week. Okay, let's move on to number 5. For number 5, you are asked to find the rate of change for each one of these graphs and then determine which one has the highest rate of change. So let's take a closer look at A. The first thing we want to do is find 2 points on the graph that are easy to read. And you don't even necessarily need to know the coordinates of those points. You just need to see, where does this diagonal line intersect the grid in a way where it catches the cross points. And I would say this right here and this right here intersect. Now, there's 2 different ways of trying to determine the rise and the run for this. I could go this way down and to the right, or I could go this way up and to the left. Let's say I came up and to the left. That would look something like that. So I would take 4 up and 2 to the left. Now let's say I came down and to the right. That would look something like that. 4 down and 2 to the right. Now, the up and down is always going to be on top, and the right or left is always going to be on the bottom. So no matter which way I write this, I'm going to have 4 as the top part, the rise, and the run as 2. I have to keep in mind that when I go 4 down, that's a negative number. So if I work from this side, it would be negative 4 over 2. If I go 2 to the left, that's a negative number. So if I work from this side, it would be 4 negative 2. So the nice thing about this is, though, you can attach the negative to either side. And generally speaking, I like to attach it to the top. So I'm going to look at it from this way just because it keeps things nice and neat. So I have negative 4 over 2. And so that's what I'm going to have right here. Now that can be reduced, which gives me negative 2 over 1. 2 goes into 2 once, into 4 2 times. And if we think about this as a slope, you could look at it as negative 2, right? So going back to this, the slope on graph A is a negative 2. Alright, Let's take a look at graph B. For graph B, we again need to find 2 points, which we have. And now I need to determine the rise and the run. If I come from this direction, I'm going to be going up 2, to the right 6, both of which are positive, so this would just be 6 over 2. Now if I come from this direction, I would be going down 2, which is a negative, and left 6, which is also a negative. But if I had both of these as a negative, the negatives would cancel out, and it would still wind up being 6 over 2. So either way, you're going to wind up with the same answer, which is 2 over 6. The up and the down over the right and the left. So it's going to be 2 over 6, which then is going to reduce to 1 over 3. So my slope, or rise over run, for B is 1 over 3. So far we have -2 for A and 1/3 for B. All right, now let's take a look at C. For C, I have 2 points picked. I can either go 4 to the right, or 1 up and 4 to the right, or I can go 1 down and 4 to the left. Again, both of these are positive, both of these are negative, which cancels out and becomes positive. So either way, we're looking at 1 over 4 as our slope or rise over run. So get those back up. So far we have -2, 1/3, and 1/4. And now we're going to take a look at D. And for D, I picked these 2 points. And then I said, okay, if I were to go up, I would have to go up 3 and to the right 1. If I started at the upper point to get down, I would have to go down 3 to the left 1. Again, 3 down, 1 to the left, both negative numbers. 3 up, 1 to the right, both positive numbers. Down here, the 2 negatives would cancel out and still leave me with 3 over 1. And of course, 3 over 1 is 3. So if I were to compare each of these, I have 3 over 1. I have 1/4. I have 1/3. And I have -2. So 3 is my largest number, and therefore D would be the highest rate of change. Which of these above graphs represents a proportional relationship? Well, as I look at each one of these and think about the definition of a proportional relationship, I know that the proportional relationship meant that it crossed through the origin, which is the intersection of the x and y axis. And if I look at A, it does not cross through the origin. It's close, but it doesn't cross through. B doesn't even come close. C does cross through, and D does not come close. So the answer to that is going to be C. Okay. Now let's take a look at our last problem, which is 8. So it says, what is the rate of change for this equation? Does this equation represent a proportional relationship? Explain why. So we have 6x plus 3y equals 9x minus 5y. So the first thing we want to do when we write it out is to subtract 6x from both sides. 6x is going to cancel out over here, and if we subtract here, we're going to wind up with 3x. Bringing down the 3y, 3x, and the 5y, we then want to cancel out the 5's, and we add 5 to 3, which gives us 8y equals 3x. And if we divide by 8, it gets y by itself, and it gives us 3 over 8 as a slope, x. So that's going to give us y over 3/8 x. The rate of change is 3/8, and is it a proportional relationship? It is, because the equation for a proportional relationship is y equals mx. The plus b is not there, and this equation fits that. It is y equals 3/8 x. Please use the questions that were done for you tonight to solve the additional problems that are still left on your homework. Remember, the key to success in math is not only working hard, but working smart.